Rachel, there are officially, I'm counting, hang on a second, 20. You have 20 shopping days left before my birthday. I will stop see, this is a significant birthday, Rachel, because after this year, I'm not counting anymore because I don't even want to hear the number 59 next year, and I don't want to hear the number after that.
So you're going to be 58.
I'll be 58 in 20 days. 58. And I run like a little fawn across the floors of life at a very quick speed, thinking I'm 36. And yet the next morning it reminds me I'm 58 and I still hurt like in every part of my body. But 20 shopping days. And then 22 days after that, or 22 days from today, Thanksgiving. It's a great week. That is like...
I know. I'm going to take off the entire week. I have to make cinnamon rolls.
There better be a batch for Tim Homa. I love cinnamon rolls, especially around the holidays. I don't know what it is. And me and we have friends that live in Texas, and they make Oklahoma cinnamon rolls. So actually, Richie Fisher's wife makes them too. And I don't know why it's called Oklahoma cinnamon rolls, but they're phenomenal. And she would always drop them off at the house on my birthday, and I would always have them. But it's going to be fun because it's a fun month. I celebrate the birthday month. So I'm taking a collection now for my gift for this year.
What do you want, Tim? What is the desire of your heart this year?
World peace.
Oh my gosh.
This is that's a great question. And here's the answer to that. A lot of fishing gear. No, that's not the answer. I'm really thankful this year because I'm going to have a house full of Thanksgiving in my house. And I'm really excited for that week. I'm excited. Last night I selected my volleyball team that I'm coaching. And so I'm really excited to see who's going to accept the invitation. They get an invite and they get a couple days to respond. And I'm really excited about coaching again. So that will start this month. I'm excited that our family dynamics are changing. So having my daughter's fiance with us, this is the start of new traditions. And although we have had a long history of the 4-5 of us really tradition, having Aaron join the family and having a son in the family, I'm really excited that this is going to be it'll be a cool birthday week. I'll have my oldest daughter, who's a volleyball coach. She's going to go to practice that week with my team. So I'll have a guest, a special guest coach. So this month is fun. I love November. I love December. These are my favorite 2 months of the year. It's totally all about holidays. I have Christmas music already programmed in my truck on the radio. So it's nonstop from now on out. That's all I listen to.
So how many days was it?
20 days. 25th.
So then you have about 26 days till my birthday.
I know. Yeah. Yeah. December. So December month then is, so wait, you're 31st? No, first. First. That's right. First. I got to do the math. Oh, there's only 30 days in November. Yep. Yeah. See, then we start a birthday month for you. So there's just continuation of party. So what do I need to bake you? What do you like?
Cheesecake.
I can do that. Pumpkin? You don't like pumpkin.
No.
You like nothing pumpkin.
Peanut butter.
I should.
Peanut butter and chocolate.
I've never made a peanut butter. So I do all the cooking at Thanksgiving.
Okay.
I do it all, and the baking. My wife sits and reads the recipe, and then we do it a tag team, but I create it all, and I love it. Absolutely love it. 2 years ago, I did a homemade pumpkin cheesecake.
So, question: do you change the recipes?
Uh-huh.
No. My mother tried to change the recipes one year for Easter.
Oh, no. I don't know. We changed the dessert. We don't change the recipe.
Okay.
No, the recipe's always the same.
We just don't. We don't change
you
what
don't
works.
mess. Yeah. So, no. No.
We told her she'd run to Easter that year.
My wife has a book, and then she reads directly from the card, and it's the same. And nothing ever changes. No, on that. Hey, today you're hosting, and you guys, you and I got a chance to talk about the Sunday service and how sometimes our plans can be a hot mess. And I think it's going to be a great topic. I think people are going to enjoy it, and so I hope that you all listening to the 61st Minute Podcast, which is a podcast of Community Bible, which is what we do each week when we talk about things that we can't finish talking about on a Sunday morning, but we continue the conversation during the week. And Rachel and I love doing it. We love getting together. You are a part of the 11th episode of season 2. So thanks for listening. And we hope that today you will enjoy it. And just know that I'm okay with anything baked goods for the next 20 days if you want to drop them off.
We need
at
to
the
talk
church.
about next time
These are my plans.
Next time we're talking about the trick that I played on Tim the first
We'll do that.
the first week or first couple weeks he was here.
Yeah. Next week, I think we'll talk a little bit about the topic. We'll go into some traditions for holidays. It'll be a fun time, and it'll be a good season. So enjoy the podcast.
Excuse me while I play my brand new favorite part. Singing praises in the rain and I'm dancing in the dark. I got a brand new lens to look through every day. Happiness doesn't last, so I found a better way. And it feels like sunshine on my shoulders. It's the good life coming closer.
Jack Parker's, but I haven't put it up yet. One is fully decorated. One will be decorated tonight because it's me and Jack Parker night. So we decorate the tree. Andrew's sole job is to get everything out of the attic. And then I have a full 6.5 foot tree that goes in my office that just makes everybody happy when they pass.
That's awesome, by the way. We will have 2 trees. I'm allowed 1 before Thanksgiving, only with lights. So that's the social media post that I put out there because that's what I'm allowed. Because when the girls arrive, my daughters arrive for Thanksgiving week, that Friday after Thanksgiving, then the house gets completely transformed, which is fun because the girls will be there and then the fiance will be there and then another family member will be there. So it'll be kind of cool. But I used to have a lot more decorations in my past offices. My future offices haven't had or will have a lot of decoration, but there's always a Christmas candle burning. I love the smell of pine or balsam or whatever tree.
I just
Douglas
hate the smell. It just makes me think of old lady potpourri.
The pine?
Just I really don't love Christmas smells, which is interesting because I make so many dang cinnamon rolls. I hate the smell of cinnamon in a candle. And yet my house smells like cinnamon for the majority of November and December.
That's wild. I'm a scent person too. I don't like a lot of scents except for Christmas. I love all the scents of Christmas. I love baked goods. But yeah, so near future, we'll do a tradition. We'll talk about food and we'll talk about the holidays. But today we're looking at talking about the first message of the new series called Hot Mess. So I'm going to let you drive it. And here's the reason why. I didn't hear it.
What?
I was at another campus. I was hearing a different message. It was about a hot mess, but it won't go with what we're talking about. So today, you are the primary host, and you'll be able to ask me questions because I want to see, because I haven't had a chance to listen to it. It's just been a busy week. I'm solo at home. We've had deliveries and all that stuff. So I have failed in that, but I'm ready.
Well, I will say this message this week was a convicting one for me because I am a planner. I like to have plans for my plans. Literally my job is a corporate event planner.
That's right.
It's what I went to school for.
That's right.
It's it was inbred in me as a type A personality from the get-go. Is we have a plan, we stick to the plan. If the plan fails, we have a backup plan. So in my job, my biggest plan of the year is a gala, and I plan it for an entire year. And I think about everything that could go wrong and have a sheet of what I would do if that went wrong. So
Do you have a backup to the backup?
yes,
There
yeah,
you go.
because
So we got to make certain everybody's aware that this week, November the 2nd, the message on Hot Mess was when your plans don't go the way you planned.
yes,
Okay.
and how God uses them and he orchestrates our plans. And so sometimes when you're a planner, it's about letting go of the control of your plans.
Sure.
And I think that that's the part of the message that hit home this week.
Because it's hard when you have it planned in your mind and
Yeah.
God says, no, that's not what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
No, God, this is what we need
my
to do.
entire life. And so I literally was, when I was writing this, I was like, you know what? I'm going to ask Tim, what is a time that your plans didn't work out the way they wanted in a career, especially?
2012, I had made a decision to leave the church in northern Michigan with an opportunity to lead, to be a camp leader, to move from northern Michigan to southern Wisconsin. And I love camp. I've always loved camp. And it was an opportunity to build a camp for a parachurch organization. And they were partnering with this camp to launch opportunities for youth pastors to take their youth groups to this camp and create this really great camp experience. So the plan was that I would spend the remaining years of my life at a camp with my wife in southern Wisconsin, which would be about an hour, just over an hour from all my family in Chicago. It's a great opportunity to be back by family and so forth. And in the midst of all of that, we put our house up for sale. I moved down, started my job, and for the first 8 months, we couldn't move the house. We couldn't sell it. And I'm getting sick as a dog. I'm staying in the nurse's station, and I don't know what was in the nurse's station, but I was sick all the time. And I'm still doing my job. I'm still doing, a lot of it's all marketing. And I'm not I don't have any background in it, but I know youth ministry and I know youth pastors. And I'm thinking this is where we're going to go. But there's no houses for sale and all of that. I mean, it's always a house story for us. But anyways, and so we take the house off the market. And all of that, I'm thinking we're close to family. This is going to be great. But we can't sell our house. My wife's starting to freak out. And we're 6 hours away. So I don't see my family for the better part of a month. Each month I go home for 4 days. I just go up there, spend 4 days, go back down. So we're apart for this time. So I go, God, what's going on? And Richie Fisher calls, lead pastor of Community Bible. He calls me up, but he's in Texas. He says, Tim, I got a job. I got a perfect job for you. Get out of there. Come to Texas. So Angie and I go down. We kick the tires around. We like Texas. It's kind of cool. So we decided to put the house back up on the market. And 4 days later, it's sold. We accepted the job. We quit the job at the camp, which ended up failing and they just decided not to do it again. It just didn't work. Failed experiment. And we moved to Texas.
It's crazy.
So the plan was Wisconsin, not Houston. And we ended up in Houston, which ended up being one of the easiest transitions in all of our moves in our marriage, where we knew people, we were familiar with the area, we knew Richie and Susan, we knew I had family down in that area, we had friends from high school that were down in that area. It just made everything. So the moral of the story is this, that God's plan is not always my plan, but it's not always his timing is not always my timing. God had to do a work in Richie's church and his ministry for a full year to be able to open up a position for me. So I needed a landing spot coming out of a very dysfunctional church leadership environment that was very difficult and very hard. And so God gave me a year, even though I wasn't really healthy, to be with family, to be around people I loved, to enjoy camp, to meet some new folks in the process of waiting to go to Texas.
That's cool. Yeah, I mean, some things that I wrote down from Sunday was our plans, when our plans are failing, it's because God might be trying to get my attention. And every time God calls us to his plan, it's probably going to be harder, but it will also be better.
I think that would be a very difficult statement for people at times to see, because a lot of the better they may not see.
Yeah, you probably won't see it right away.
Yeah, and that's hard.
Yeah. But in hindsight, things always work out.
Yeah, they do. That is it's a tough statement as a human being to be able to process, because a lot of time, again, it's the future of trusting God. It's trusting God for your future and knowing that it will all work out. And what's the passage of scripture that says that God uses all things for his glory? All things for his glory.
Yep.
And so what may not be for our glory or our benefit at first will be for his benefit and glory in the future.
Well, and we used Romans 8:28. All things work together for our good if we love God and are called according to his purpose. So it's the big if.
Yeah. So as a planner, Rachel, when your plans don't go the way you had hoped, what does that do to your psyche? What does it do to your psychological, your brain, your emotions, when things start to go and they either drift or they take an abrupt right-hand turn away from what you envision the plan to be? What does that create in you?
Anxiety. So a lot of times, like, say something gets broken or say something happens that is not part of my plan. My immediate next step is, okay, well, how can we fix this? And my husband has to sometimes go, hey, we're not going to fix it right now. Like, we're just going to let it be. And we're going to see how it works out on its own, because maybe the whole point is that you don't get it fixed. And maybe you sit in it and wait on what the Lord wants to happen instead of automatically trying to come up with the next solution.
What a wise man. Look at that.
Sometimes,
the wisdom in that.
Sometimes.
The wisdom in that, man.
And sometimes I get really mad about that.
Yeah. I just simply tell my wife, just trust God. Just trust him. Just believe it, that he's got the best in store, because we're instant gratification. Everybody wants everything right away. They want their plans to be done and it all work out the way you had planned it. And you want it now, you want it, and it's not always the case. And I think there is a lot to what you said, Richie preached on in regards to the fact that God wants to teach us something, show us something, or have us learn from it. I mean, not necessarily just learn, but also see his hand in it. I think a lot of times when our plans don't go the way that we want them to, it's because God wants to show us, I'm in control. I've got this. You don't have to worry about it. Trust me. Just trust me in this.
Yeah. I take off every Sunday after the gala every year that I have done it for the last 2 years, thinking like I'm going to be exhausted. I just want to rest. And every year on the night of the gala, I'm so overwhelmed with his goodness and like amazed at all that he could do, more than I could imagine or plan.
So are you overseeing a large number of people then?
There's 450 people that come to this event.
Okay. And I
have about 75 volunteers that I structure for the night.
And it's what time of year?
It's February, the end of February, beginning of March.
And it's for what event? For what purpose?
It is to raise money for scholarships for students for the med school.
For the med school.
And so we tell the story of the students. And this year will be really interesting because with the new loan caps that came out of the One Big Beautiful Bill, it essentially for med students caps them on what they can take out by the third year of med school. So they are really struggling. And I mean, these students, like, some of them don't have enough food to eat during the week because they're tapped out because they can't work either.
So your job is to provide an event and cast a vision and a story that people are drawn to, and they're like, I want to support that.
Yeah.
Mom.
So when that happens, the night of, I mean, I just am blown away by God's goodness and like can't wait to go to church on Sunday. Like I'm like,
God, I'm not taking
I'm
this
not
Sunday
taking it off.
I'll be there.
I gotta praise.
I'll be there praising you in the morning, afternoon, and night. I'll be at 3 different churches. I'm going to be praising you all day long.
You never know. But the reality is, for my entire life as a planner, nothing has gone the way that I have expected it to go.
Of course not.
The only thing that has fallen into my plan on my timing was I said that I wanted to be a mom at 28. And that's what I was. That's the only thing in my life that has happened on my own timing.
Isn't that funny how I think planning has a lot to do with what we rehearse in our heads. And we operate in the silo of our own brain thinking that how we plan things, we can control the narrative of everyone else. But everyone else also has an agenda. They have a brain. They have a plan. They have thoughts. They have ideas. So you may have some ideas that you're like, this is the way it's going to go. But somebody comes in and you're like, oh, I like that idea. Or that one trumps this one. And suddenly you're in that planning stage. I've only had one time, like you, having a kid, 28. It was how I planned out. And I honestly can say it's probably the only time that it worked exactly how I planned it. I just decided to accept the position to come to Community Bible in 2023 at the end. So right around November, I let Richie know I was coming. Angie asked me, my wife asked me to not notify the church till January. She wanted to push it as far as we could because she wanted the time to be able to have the girls process it. They were going to be living without us now. And so I said, okay, January 10th, there was a reason why January 10th, I was going to take my boss to lunch to like Taste of Texas. Okay, Taste of Texas is a lunchtime meal for 2, over $100. It's a steakhouse. It's the best steakhouse in Houston. I took them. I said I was going to take him that day, sit him down. Only one person knew on staff, one person, and that was the youth pastor. And he had promised me. Oh, my dog is going to disrupt everything here. Okay, come here. My dog is our guest today. Come here. Hey, bud. Up. Come on. Wait. Okay. Hold, please. Come on. Up here. Up on the chair. Thanks. Okay, so I take him to lunch. We have this lunch. I go, you're probably wondering why I took you to Taste of Texas. He goes, it's not to celebrate our friendship. We were really good friends. And I go, yes, but I'm letting you know that I'm stepping down. And no one, it was the first time that there was no leaking of the information. It worked out perfectly. I got the exact plan I wanted. I actually wanted to leave on Easter of March Easter 2024. It ended up being a week earlier, which made sense. But the whole plan of letting him know, letting the church know, it all came out exactly how I had planned. And I just said, God, thanks, because God understood why I wanted to do that, and me honoring him, and he honored me, and it was just a great process. Mm-hmm. But rarely, I agree with you, rarely do those moments happen.
So did you always want to be in ministry?
No, I don't even think I knew what ministry was.
Yeah.
I graduated with a psych degree. I was going to be a counselor. I was working for the state of Illinois as a psychotherapist, and I was serving as a volunteer part-time intern. That meant they paid my phone bill at a very large youth ministry in Chicago. Well, then my plan of being a counselor all of a sudden got uprooted because they had to cut staff. They ran out of money. This organization I was working for the state had to cut staff, and they said, we got to let you go. So I walked up to the youth pastor at the time, who now to this day is my best friend. Mm-hmm. But I said to him, I go, I have no idea what I'm going to do with my life. He goes, you need to be a youth pastor. And I laughed at him. I had no idea what that meant. I didn't have any seminary training. I went to state schools. I got degrees in working in a field that was what I thought was going to be my path. Mm-hmm. And next thing I know, I'm sending out resumes to churches. I had no idea what to say in there. So somebody on one of the interns had had a resume. So I took his and changed the names around and made it mine. And I sent it out. I got a call from a guy in Las Vegas, a pastor. And he goes, hey, we're looking for a youth pastor. Are you interested? And I said, well, I need some experience in this whole interviewing of church thing. I said, sure, I'll go to Vegas. I've never been to Vegas. I'm in Chicago. Go to Vegas, spend 5 days there. The guy says, hey, we're looking at somebody else. We'll let you know in 2 weeks. Not even a week goes by. They called and offered the job. I accepted. 3 weeks later, I'm moving to Vegas. I mean, it's the craziest thing because the plan was never, I mean, I had lived in Illinois all my life. I never had been beyond Denver because I went to college in Denver for a couple of years. Never been more west of Denver. And next thing I know, I'm moving to Las Vegas as a single 23-year-old to work at a church as a youth pastor, which I had no experience in other than as an intern volunteer. 35 years later, still a pastor.
Did you meet Angie there?
Angie was the receptionist at the church and was
Okay.
my first friend. Our date
That's
nights,
so funny.
our date nights were going and spending $10 playing slots. We'd just go hang out. We got to know each other going out. She would take me downtown, and I would find like the $2.99 all-you-can-eat steak and eggs type of deal, and we would play slots for $10. And I'm like, okay, we're done. Spent $10, and I had been dating somebody at the time, and then that relationship fizzled out, and we started dating, and she was the receptionist who then ended up as the admin for the worship department. And then 2 years later, we got married. Yeah,
Crazy.
that was crazy. So
But
those,
had God not messed up your plans, you wouldn't have seen the fruit of being in ministry and seeing all that he can do throughout all this time, including bringing you and your wife together.
it's all surreal.
Yeah,
I mean, and
because
then my
you would have
daughters
never gone to Vegas.
never gone to Vegas, never had Jordan, never had Jensen, never had Angie as my wife. So many things. Oh yeah, I mean, it's like the timeline that people draw up from when you're born to when that all the little dots on it. It's like craziness, all the different dots because you think this is planned out, but yet, and there is something to be said about things that you do that. God talks about there's two different types of will. There's God's will, which is the perfect will. And then there's the permissive will, which it may not be the perfect plan that God had for you, but he permits it so he can teach you and show you. And then eventually he brings you back to his will. And that gets deeper into this thing, but plans itself, it's one of those things when you look at plans, you have to just do it all with open hands. God, I have this plan, but you may have a better one, so I'm going to trust you with it.
Yeah.
I think the only time, this is a question I have for you, I'm going to answer it first. What plan went differently than what you expected for you, and it got to the point where you started to question, okay, God, what are you doing? Like, we waited 14 months to find a house here. Even I got to the point like, God, this is so easy for you. What are you doing? I was starting to go a little stir crazy. Now, usually I'm the one with the faith saying, God's got this, God's got this. And I kept telling my wife, even when I was doubting, Angie, come on, God's got this. And I'm thinking to myself, God, you got this. What are we moving again? But has there been a time where you had something so planned out, but yet as you waited for it to come to fruition, it just took forever and either went the way you had hoped or went a completely different way?
Well, that's probably the time, like right after college, when I went to. So I was horrible at chemistry in college, like
So was that.
horrible,
Yeah.
and I failed it twice.
I failed it once and dropped it
Yeah.
real fast.
Well, I went to my advisor and said, "Okay, I don't know what to do," and she said, "If you wait 6 months, they're dropping it from your degree program. So you won't have to have it." And I said, I'm taking a 6-month internship. So I did. And at the time, I had aspirations to open an empire. Okay. I wanted to open restaurants and had all these visions and did the 6-month internship I got it was a paid internship at the nicest hotel in the state of Arkansas. I had 2 restaurants in it. The Capitol Hotel in Little Rock, shout out. And it was such a great internship. I got to meet wonderful people. I knew that I met the GM, and I had like known that he really liked blogs at the time. So I made a blog of my entire experience as an intern, and I worked in every single department in the hotel for at least a week.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So I did a weekly blog about what I was doing, things I was learning, and it caught his eye. And so he started mentoring me. And by the time my internship was over, he said, hey, go home for a couple months. I want you to enjoy some time after college is over. But after 2 months, I want to bring you back. We're going to create you a job where you can learn everything you need to learn about opening a restaurant, and then we'll help you. And I was like, man, what an opportunity.
And they're dropping chemistry.
Yeah. Yeah. Graduated college,
Nice.
my hospitality degree. Well, at the same time, I came home. I had been praying, like, Lord, just I just want to be where you are. Like, show me where you are. Show me where I'm supposed to be. Like, this opportunity sounds amazing. I do not want to be in Fort Smith. Love Fort Smith. Did not want to, like, end up here. Came home. Joined a home group. Why? I just wanted some friends. So I met some friends here, started plugging in. God radically changed my life and said, you're not going to take that job. You're going to work for Community Bible. I had no idea if Community Bible had a job.
But God didn't come down and have coffee with you and
No,
tell you
but
that. How'd you
like
know that?
literally, it was the most clear thing I'd ever heard.
Okay.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
It was during a worship night, and between Sunday morning and Sunday night, like I was like, this is what I'm supposed to do. I'm supposed to work for Community Bible.
Wow.
I went to Matt Whitson at the time, said, hey, I think God is telling me I need to work here, and I don't know what that looks like. Because part of my planning story is I grew up saying I would never be in ministry or military. So I'm shocked God didn't call me to be like a military chaplain like Nick or marry into it. But somebody was leaving at the time for children's ministry in Van Buren. I am not a children person. I'm not a kid person. I am actually pretty good with kids, just don't love it.
And now you're on staff.
And I was
on
a
staff.
children's pastor for 10 years.
Yep.
It worked.
You and Nick going down the same path.
It worked. But it was interesting. The Lord showed me a lot. When I felt called to ministry, I didn't know that it was always going to be a vocational calling. Which look at it now. But that was definitely not what I had planned. Literally the opposite of what I'd planned.
Yeah.
And it has turned out, I mean, I met my husband here. I have met countless friends. I can't imagine my life any other way. So it's good stuff.
I tell you, if you're listening to this and right now you're maybe in a season where you have some plans and they're just not going the way you'd want them to, I think Rachel and I can truthfully tell you, as we have shared in this podcast today, in this episode, God's got a plan. And when we trust him, his timing is different than ours. His direction is different than ours. But if we have faith in the creator of the universe, who loves us so much that he would send his son to die on our behalf and defeat death and give us an opportunity to bridge a relationship with him, he's got your plans, and his plans are easy, and they're perfect, and they're his. So trust him. Pray, seek wisdom, seek people to talk to about your plans. Lay them out before God. Don't hold your plans too tightly, thinking that your plan is perfect. God may always have a better plan, or he may have a plan that is in line with yours, and he wants to be with you in that process because he loves writing your story with you. So we hope that today you have enjoyed hearing some stories about plans and how sometimes when our plans go awry, it creates a little bit of a hot mess. But when we present them before God, we present those plans to God, God takes that hot mess and he makes it a perfect mess and a perfect situation for us, and he helps us move along. So good.
Yeah.
Good
What's
hosting
next week?
today. Next week is when our faith is fragile. So this upcoming Sunday is when our faith is in a hot mess, when it's fragile and we question our faith and our journey. So it'll be a good one. And yeah, so thanks for listening, guys. We will talk to you next week.
See ya.
Thank you for listening to today's episode of the 61st Minute Podcast by Community Bible. Our goal is to release a podcast every Wednesday, continuing the conversation from our services the previous Sunday morning. If you're looking for a church home, we would love to have you on Sundays at any of our 3 Community Bible campuses. For more information, check out our website at communitychurch.com. That is communitychurch.com. Tune in next week for another episode of the 61st Minute Podcast by Community Bible on platforms like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or anywhere you listen to your podcasts.